Welcome back to the Coffee Cocktail channel, and specifically the Coffee and Banana series, where things are about to get a bit different. And I think this calls for mood lighting. Oh, that's better. Today I'm going to show you how to make the very serious, very moody, Smokey Coffee Banhattan. I can't say that. Smokey Coffee Banhattan, which is a ridiculous name and I can't take it seriously. So let's make some coffee and banana cocktails. All right, welcome back to the Coffee Cocktail channel with me, Dan Fellows. This is the third part in our three-part series exploring all things coffee and banana. So not only are we trying to explore the flavor combination of coffee and banana and see how many different ways we can take it, and we've taken it three very different ways, one of which we're going to explore today. We're also trying to use the ingredients kind of creatively, using each part of the ingredient in order to avoid waste, but also to explore the flavors that can be found within coffee and banana in order to make brand new kind of combinations and techniques. So if you haven't seen the series up until now, I'd recommend clicking above, which will link back to part one, which is where I make a drink called pucks and peels, using espresso pucks or ground coffee, and also the peels from banana, showing you how to make an ingredient called banana peel saccharum, which we're also going to be using today. So because we're going to be using that ingredient today, you want to click back to part one, then you're going to watch part two, which is all about the ultimate summer coffee cocktail, which is a Banana Coffee Colada, which couldn't be more different to pucks and peels. And then the final part is today. So if you've seen parts 1 and 2, welcome along. And today things are going to be completely different. Today's drink is dark, it's rich, it's smoky, it's spicy, and it's boozy. And it's based on one of my favorite cocktails in the world, which is a Manhattan. And you have to excuse the name. I'm making a name for myself, naming cocktails dreadfully. It's the Smokey Coffee Banhattan, which is terrible. However, it's a delicious drink. So your classic Manhattan is usually a pretty simple template of 2 parts whiskey, usually a rye, occasionally a bourbon, 1 part sweet vermouth, or sometimes some dry vermouth in there if you want to make a perfect Manhattan, and then 2 dashes of aromatic bitters. And it's an amazing combination. However, what we're going to do today is take that foundation and create something which is completely different in terms of flavor, but familiar in some ways. So bananas, as we know, are fun and yellow and fruity. Banana peels are kind of leathery and rich, and they're the flavors we're going to lean towards, those kind of heavy tannic flavors that we found in the banana peel saccharum. So we're going to stir the drink down, starting with 50 mils of this Balvenie Caribbean cask whiskey, which is aged in rum casks, and I've actually banana spiced this. So the reason for choosing this particular whiskey is that it has a kind of spiced banana flavor from those rum barrels. And also I've infused this with 15 grams extracted coffee from a paper filter when I made a V60 this morning. Again, using a product that usually go in the bin in order to infuse that coffee flavor into the whiskey. 2 cloves, 1 crushed cinnamon stick, which is around about 5 grams, 15 grams of crushed dried banana, which has a completely different flavor to fresh, and then I've added 150 grams of the Balvenie. This is then infused for 24 hours and then goes into the fridge before paper straining. And this just makes sure any of the fats from the dried banana harden before being strained out. You could use rye for this or your favorite whiskey and it'd still work really well. The reason I've done this is it has really good body, but it also mimics the kind of spice notes of the rye, which is inherent to a Manhattan. And then the second ingredient is 20 mils of Cocky Storico sweet vermouth. So traditionally you'd probably go for more like 25 mils with a 2-to-1 whiskey to vermouth ratio. But because we're going to add some sweetness, we don't want to have an overly sweet drink. So I've reduced this down slightly and you get a really nice kind of herbal characteristic. Next up, 7.5 mils of our banana peel saccharum, which, like I say, has those darker notes from the banana peel, the kind of rich, leathery, and also sweetness in there. And this is really kind of foundational flavor, complementing the crushed banana in our Balvenie. To take that spice note even further, I'm gonna add 3 dashes of Scrappy's aromatic bitters, or your favorite bitters. And then rather than using a saline solution, which I often would in a lot of coffee cocktails, if you've seen the channel before, you'll know, I'm actually gonna add 0.8 grams of a 1 to 5 smoked salt to water saline solution. And smoked salt is an amazing ingredient. I use it in food a lot, but also it has a really nice kind of deep smokiness, as you'd expect, as well as that light salinity. It also brings down some of the sweetness of the other ingredients and kind of makes it all harmonize together really nicely. And then we want to stir this down with loads of ice. So when you're stirring the drink down, I can't stress enough the importance of using ice which hasn't melted so that we can control the dilution and get it really, really nice and cold, which this drink needs. And then we're going to strain the drink into a frozen glass. So as I say, cold temperatures for this drink are really critical. And I'll garnish with a dried banana chip. So this is the drink, but it isn't quite finished. So the final ingredient is Leathery PX cask whiskey, which is intensely smoky, intensely peaty. I love it, some people hate it, but this is one of my favorite whiskeys in the world. You can use any smoky whiskey up to your tolerance level, and I've actually poured this into a spritz bottle, and between every sip, we're going to spritz the drink, so get more of that real nice smokiness on top. So there we have the Smoky Coffee Banhattan. Cheers. Ooh. Completely different to Pucks and Peels and the Banana Coffee Colada. This is a serious drink. Heavy, rich, all the good stuff. The perfect night finishing drink for sure. And like I say, between every sip, freshen up that spritz. And you get the aromas of kind of earth, saline, the sea, the land, banana, coffee. I love it. And that's the Smoky Coffee Banhattan. So we've explored 3 drastically different drinks, all of which exploring the combination of coffee and banana, seeing how far we can take the combination and also the ingredients to get the most out of every part of that ingredient. I'm going to be exploring the combination of coffee and another ingredient a lot more in the future, so stay tuned for that. And in the meantime, if you want to check out more coffee cocktail recipes, I'll link them here. And if you're getting value from the channel, which I hope you are, make sure you subscribe and click here so you don't miss anything. And I'll see you in the next one.